Jackie Linville here from Laerdal Medical, and today I'm going to be discussing the QCPR training app that goes with our littles as well as our Resusci hands. If you're not using the QCPR training app or letting your customers know about that, it is really a value add to these mannequins. It's free and you get traditional feedback on rate, recoil, depth, and ventilations, as well as now the new updated version, which I'm here to talk to you about today as well, gives you the timeline view, and we'll go over that in just a minute. You're able to export results and save them to your training folder. You're able to rename the sessions. So if you're using this for competency checkoff, you can rename these with an employee number or an employee name and be able to save them and export these. So let's get started here. I am going to pause just for a second, change cameras, and we'll go through the QCPR training app.
Okay, we are looking at my phone and my education apps that I have downloaded. So right here in the center is the QCPR app that we'll be working with today, and that is searchable in the App Store by Laerdal QCPR. That will come up. When you touch that, I'm already signed in. If you're not, if you don't have an account, please sign up as an instructor. If you're an instructor, you will also see the ability to sign in as a learner or create an account as a learner. And we'll go through that in just a minute. What you're looking at right now, we're down here gives you some quick tips, and it's discussing our new features of the QCPR app that was just released in September of 2025. So this is what it says. It's CPR. So you're going to click into that box for QCPR training. If you want to include our AED trainers or do just AED trainer, our AED trainer does interact and connect with this app. Choking infant, if you're working with our infants, obviously you would click into there and be able to identify when the the person performing choking infant procedure has cleared the airway. Our infant does also cry. And then CPR game, I'll click into here in a little bit, but we do have a game. You can hook up to 6 mannequins in this app. Each mannequin would be color coded. And then when we go into the CPR game, it flips up ambulances associated with that color for the mannequin. And you're able to do quality CPR to move that ambulance across the screen and eventually, hopefully, win. So I'm going to go right in here to CPR. If you can see that screen, you have a little Junior 03 that is activated, not connected yet, and then our Resusci Ann that we'll be working with here in just a minute. I'm just going to be working with our little Junior for right now, and then I'll show you some of the differences with the Resusci. So if I touch this plus sign out here, it's connecting. And once it's connected, it will give you the battery life right there. And then these 3 little dots here, if you touch that, it's going to give you a little bit more information. Your mannequin info, including serial number and how many compressions and ventilations have been performed on this. As well as this is where you can rename it or disconnect. So I am going to go ahead and click out of there. Down here, it says continue or arrange mannequins. So if I had 6 connected, I could arrange those mannequins. You see how this says Little Junior 03. Previously, we had to name our mannequins 1 through 6 and then set them out accordingly in the class and connect them how we wanted them arranged. Now you can just put all of your mannequins out and then arrange them within the app. It's really super nice. So I'm going to go ahead and continue here. And this is our traditional feedback. And this is also the practice session. When I said when you first sign in, you're going to see instructor or learner. This is kind of the learner's playing field. So they can get used to the mannequin, used to what they're seeing feedback wise. And then you, as the instructor, can come back here and during assessment, do I want to do 1 minute? Do I want to do 2 minutes? Do I want to do 10 minutes? Do I want to do CPR that has ventilations, or do I just want to do hands only, compressions only? And then when you hit start, that is when your assessment and grading actually occurs. Up here, the mannequin right here, you can now rename it here. I'm just going to name it my name, Kathy. This can be your employee number, your identifier for when you're going to save it. That's how it will export. It does not save it permanently. So when I go back, this will be little junior 3. So I'm just going to do some CPR here so you guys can see exactly what the feedback looks like. This is pretty decent CPR. If I decide not to completely recoil, I'm going to get that arrow up, right? If I decide not to go deep enough, I'm going to get that arrow down. The speedometer over there, I need to be in the green, right? If I go way fast, doing too fast of compressions, it will go completely over there to the right. And then if I slow down and don't do compressions, it'll drop down to the lower. I will also get an indicator up here when I'm in assessment, and it will be a clock that shows me hands off time, and can actually calculate my compression fraction ratio. I'm going to show you some ventilations here with little junior. When I squeeze that bag and I get a green bar, it's good. If I squeeze the bag and I get something that is orange, that I've overventilated. If I get something too small, it's also going to turn orange as well. These indicate good ventilations that are in the green. So now we're going to kind of put it all together, and I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And so if I had 6 of these, not everyone has to start at the same time. But when you do start your mannequin, it does start that clock. And we're going to go ahead and start some CPR here. I'm a little fast. I'm going to slow down. Not going down completely. Not coming up completely. Going to give a ventilation or 2 here. There's that orange clock there on top of the CPR meter. It just went away, but it was counting the time that I was off the chest. And I'm going to go ahead and give another breath here. And then I'm going to manually stop it. So we have 56 seconds left here, as you can see, because we're going to do CPR for 2 minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and stop that. It's going to load my results. And so my total CPR score on this event was 26. I was a 30-2 protocol here. My session time was 1 minute and 10 seconds. You have the date and what it was performed on, the little junior. So it does give you some improvement tips. My chest compression fraction ratio was horrible. And so also try to perform 30 compressions. I did not count, and I did not give 30 compressions before I gave ventilations. So the total compressions I did give were 48. I had good release 85% of the time, good depth 79% of the time. I was Average rate, only 7% of the time was I in that green area. I delivered 3 good ventilations and 1 high that you saw. And here's my total session time, my compression time, my pause time, and that's calculated out to a 48% compression fraction ratio. My longest pause was 19 seconds. So if you're talking about 2-person CPR and there's a long pause to get someone to switch and hands on chest, you have that information. You also have a timeline. And what I didn't show you is the timeline view. So this is the traditional view with a debrief. I'm going to try again here, but right up here, I'm going to switch it to timeline view, if you see that. So I'm still going to get the traditional feedback, right? But I'm not going to get just the traditional feedback. This is wanting me to set up an AED trainer. I don't need to do that right now. So we're going to go back here. There's the traditional. Here's the timeline. I'm going to go ahead and reduce this down to 1, and I'm going to go ahead and start. So that's not traditional. I can just switch it on the fly here. There we go. I'm sorry, we were in traditional. This is timeline view. And this is what is new in the app. This is what you usually get when you hook up a Resusci to a SimPad with Skill Reporter. I'm going to go ahead, deliver a breath. Maybe not. He's very, very finicky. There we go. I guess I shouldn't say he's finicky. Junior really does like his airway to be open, and if you don't open it properly, you're not going to get the ventilation in, just like in a real human being. So pretty common. And there I timed out. There's my score. And again, it's going to go through exactly like we had before with all the same details, including the timeline. But the difference is you're going to see the timeline view while you're performing your CPR. So if I want to export this, I'm going to hit the little export. Here's the PDF. I can open this file here, and there's the comprehensive report, or I can choose to send it, to share it. So right here, I can actually share it to my messenger or actually an Outlook and email it to myself or to the person, right? Okay, for fun, I have hooked up and connected both my Resusci and my little here. And I'm going to go back out and just show you what the QCPR game would look like. It actually tells you that you have a Resusci and then a little Junior 3 here. We do have some fun race circles that you can actually put out so people will know which color ambulance they are. So I'm just going to do compressions only. I'm going to do start game, just so you kind of get an idea of what this looks like. That's kind of a new feature. It used to start kind of automatically, but now you actually have a start button, which is kind of nice. You can see Resusci moving there very slowly. But you do get results at the end of this as well. So very fun. I'm going to go ahead and stop. Yes, I'm sure I want to stop the game. And there's my session information. And I'm just going to go back here to training. I'll need to switch this over here And oops, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and hit training here. I'm going to disconnect Little Junior. And you've seen what we can do as far as when I do compressions. What I want to show you is your customs here. So if you're going to be using Resusci and you don't necessarily follow the AHA guidelines for adults, right? For a 2 or more rescuer, you can customize these because this kind of ties you in to their results, right? 4 to 700 for a tidal volume, 2 to 2.4 inches, and then 100 to 120 beats per minute, and a 30 to 2. What if you have an advanced airway and your protocol allows you to do like 10 to 1? You can do that with custom. And so you're going to actually hit custom here. I want to pull this down because I really don't want to go above about 600, and I want my lowest to be about 350-ish. Say I don't want to do 30 to 2. Here's your 10 to 1, right? Do I want to know if I'm going too deep or not? Do I want hand position feedback? So you can actually customize this to fit your protocol. And then you just hit save here. Now, every time that you come in, that custom protocol will be saved for you to test with. And that's about it for the new app. I will show another video, the difference between the app and the SimPad with Skill Reporter for Resuscis in a different video. Hopefully this helped. Please let me know if you have any questions, and if you or one of your customers would like to have a demo of this, I am available to provide demos of this as well. Thanks and have a great day.